everyone, welcome to the Latte on Cloud Cost podcast that guides you through the complex world of cloud cost optimization. I'm your host Praneet Chandra, and every 2 weeks we deep dive into strategies, tools, and best practices that helps FinOps professionals, engineering leaders, and DevOps teams navigate the complex world of cloud cost optimization. Whether you are looking to trim your cloud bill or improve resource allocation or align your tech spending with the business goals, you are at the right place. In today's episode, we have Mr. Rakesh Pathi, who has 16 plus years of experience. He has been doing FinOps for 5 plus years now and is one of the official hosts for Chapter in Hyderabad, where he recently hosted Mike Fuller and Dean Bosch to discuss state of FinOps back in Hyderabad. He has managed millions of dollars of spend with companies like Invesco, Genpact, and Tata on cloud. And it's great to have you over here. Welcome, Rakesh. How are you doing?
Hi. Thank you so much, Praneet. I'm doing good, thanks. And hi, viewers. I'm doing good.
Great. Rakesh, can you please tell me about your role? Like what you do? How does your role fit in this whole complex world of cloud costs and FinOps altogether?
Sure, Praneet. As you know, FinOps is very new in this complete world, and recently there are very few organizations who have adopted FinOps best practices. And as you know, people are moving from on-prem to cloud, and after moving to cloud, there are many challenges which the organizations are facing, and that's where FinOps plays a crucial role. So I support the FinOps department or FinOps practices in my organization, and we would be discussing about all those capabilities which I have implemented in this interview.
Great. At your organization, how do you work on cloud cost optimization? Like what is your process? What is your methodology? How do you get started, right? For a starter, right, who has no clue where to begin, what do you think is a right way of doing cloud cost optimization?
Yeah, so first of all, the cloud cost optimization can be done by focusing on in a combination of multiple things. First is we should collaborate with people to get the support from engineering, operations, SRE. So this is about collaboration. We should also start implementing few automations. I can tell you where you can do automations. And we should also have strong governance in an organization. So we should emphasize on tagging strategy. That is the key thing which we have to look at first. This tagging strategy is nothing but every resource, every infrastructure resource or asset which we are deploying in cloud that has to be tagged properly. So we have to implement few mandatory tags for every resource. Based on that, we can show the cost, report the cost effectively to the applications or to the projects or to the actual owners. So when we have this tagging strategy properly, then we can right size the resources or shut down the idle resources or park the resources by contacting the actual owners. Again, cost optimization can be done by right sizing. Right sizing means, let's say if we have an asset which is over-provisioned. So by using the tags, we can go contact the application owner or the project owner and show them the data stating that, okay, your particular instance is of this type and this can be moved to Y type based upon the CPU usage or memory usage. So by this way, we can right size the instances. Make sense, Praneet?
Totally. I think that's a good way to start. For starters, yes, that's a right way. I think and again, the problem is there's no prescription that is available, right? So having a prescriptive answer like that really helps to our viewers a lot. And I hope people take a note of that.
Yeah, so that's about right sizing. Praneet, let me quickly give you more information. So that's about right sizing. And we can also shut down the idle resources. You know, there are many resources which people generally deploy into the cloud and they will stay there like that only without being used. So that's when we can shut down them to save some amount. We can, again, from AWS native tool, cloud, you take any cloud, every tool has this recommendation section. So we can get the recommendations from this particular native tools or also from third-party tools. And we can get the list of idle resources which we have, contact the owners of those particular resources and shut them down. That's how we can also optimize. We also have some other features like parking. Parking is like nothing but shutting down the resource in off business hours. Let's say there is an application which is being used only between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and after 6 p.m. we can always shut it down, right? So that's something we call it as auto packing, and we can pack this resources when they are not in use. Also, we should continuously monitor our spend, Praneet. So which means if we continuously monitor our spend, that's when we'll come to know how much are we spending and where are you spending. And suddenly, let's say your price is always in this format or it is constant, and suddenly you see a spike in the cost. We call it as anomaly. Then we can quickly pick up that particular anomaly, go back to the owner and ask them whether that anomaly or that spike in spend is expected or not. If it is expected, then that is absolutely fine because it's a business requirement. If it is not expected, then yes, we have to quickly take an action on it. Like, just go back to the owner of the person who deployed it and find out the reason and stop it then there itself. Stop in the sense, whatever is causing the spike, we have to control it. That's something which I do in my cost optimization. Apart from I also take care of reviewing the pricing models. Right, we buy the reservations and commitments. So we just also check out whether the workloads which we are deploying, workloads means again the instances which we are deploying, whether those instance types are covered in our reservation strategy or not. So we have bought few reservations. So I'll make sure that all the resources which are being deployed are covered in my reserved instances. So what I generally do is I go back to everyone and tell them that these are the kind of reserved instances or the commitments which I have bought. In that way, I'll spread the awareness and I'll also make sure that people are using these particular reserved instances and will save the cost. So that's how I do the cost optimization. I'll stop here, Praneet.
No, this is really a detailed answer. I think this is what our viewers are gonna want to listen, right, altogether, rather than getting some bookish knowledge altogether. So that gets me to a very interesting point, right? What are some common misconceptions about cloud cost optimization that, in your experience of just doing FinOps for last 5 years, right, you might have heard? So what are those common misconceptions?
Yes, generally not the enterprise level organizations, but the startups. They feel that moving to cloud saves them a lot of money or guarantees savings. That's what actually people have the assumptions. But just lifting our servers from on-prem and putting it in cloud doesn't save the cost. So we have to follow the FinOps practices for sure to save the cost. That's something which people just have some misconception. That's one thing. Second thing is, or people think that cloud optimization is a one-time task. So generally I've seen people where they set up some working sessions. All the engineers or everyone get onto a call, do some optimization, and they think that, okay, my cloud is not completely optimized, and they'll relax. But it's not that way. You have seen the FinOps framework, right? It has the phases: inform, operate, and optimize. Inform, optimize, and operate. And it's a continuous thing which we have to continuously do it. There is always a scope of optimizing our cloud cost. Generally, that's something people will not do. They just do it. They just get into one call. They think that, okay, my cloud is completely optimized. No, it is not a one-time task. We have to continuously do it. That's one more thing which people have misconception about. And if I'm not wrong, one more thing is, people always think that optimization will impact the performance. That's again a very, everyone faces this kind of challenge. When we go back with the recommendations to the actual owners, they say that no, if I reduce the size of this particular instance, it will impact the performance of the my product or application. That's what generally everyone says. But that's not the ideal situation. When we are going with the recommendations, we have to go with the data. Maybe you can just pull out the CPU utilization, memory utilization for the previous 30 days, and then go back with data to the owners, and you can optimize them. It can also improve your performance sometimes, and it will definitely save the cost. One more thing, Praneet, is generally what people think is, if you just go buy some reservations, do some commitments, buy some savings plans, people think that they can save a lot of money. But that's the trick. if we commit to something, we have to ensure that we are using those kind of instances only. Again, in the real world, it is not so easy to stick to the same set of or same type of instance for a very long time. For this, actually, we have to understand, we in the sense FinOps persona has to collaborate with engineering team, operations team, with all the teams and try to understand the roadmap and then buy the reservations or commitments. If not, we'll end up wasting the money, not saving the money. These are so...
Right on point, Rakesh, over there, right? This is the most common thing I hear, right?
Yeah.
Moving to cloud and the cost will reduce. No, it doesn't reduce, right? Oh, we are having 100% coverage, and that doesn't guarantee that you are going to save costs because the way how the workload and everything changes. I think that's really, really on the point to hear altogether.
Yeah.
So coming to my third question, what role does FinOps play in cost efficiency, right? Once, like you were talking about, okay, we tell the owner, this is unused resource. This resource needs parking because you are not using it in the night. But how does, and those teams then go and do that cost saving job, right? So how do you fit that FinOps cost saving together? Because what I hear from a lot of people, FinOps is not just about cost saving, right? So how does FinOps play that role in cost efficiency?
Yeah, it plays a very crucial role, and as you told, FinOps is not just about saving the cost. Okay, it is all about making the most out of every dollar we are spending in cloud. Makes sense? So it's about making the most out of every dollar which we are spending on cloud. So yeah, it's not all about saving the cost, but using the resources effectively. I'm stressing using the resources effectively. That is something which we would like to, I would like to highlight. And one more, the critical role which FinOps plays is to build a cost-conscious culture. In this current world, after moving to cloud, literally leaders are banging their head because the cost-conscious culture is not there in most of the organizations or in all of the organizations. I cannot comment, but yeah, it's not there. People, the engineers, because they are not paying the bills, they're not worried about the cost. So here, the FinOps plays a very crucial role in promoting the financial accountability. And recently, I have done a hackathon in my organization where I have grouped, I have 4 groups. I have given them some real-time challenges of FinOps, and I have asked people to solve that problem. So by doing this kind of hackathon activity, I have spread the knowledge, FinOps knowledge, and now people are aware of what is FinOps and how efficiently they have to use. So FinOps persona should conduct this kind of hackathons, and in some or the other way, they have to bring or promote the financial accountability in an organization. We also do something called as FinOps Fridays. On every Fridays, we go get into a call. Generally, in most of the organizations, we have the organization level call or technology level call, right? So we should get into such calls and talk about all the best practices which we have to follow, or highlight the best work which a team has done, or highlight the best work like savings. Let's say that there is a team which have re-architected their design or saved some amount. So we have to choose this kind of platforms and choose this kind of platforms and talk about the success stories. In this way, we can spread the awareness and bring the cost-conscious culture in the organization. And we should also, FinOps also collaborates cross-functionally. It collaborates with SRE team, site reliability team, operations team, engineering team, solutions team, finance team, procurement team. So this FinOps, again, it is also responsible to buy the reservations, to talk to the vendors and get the enterprise level discounts. So yeah, it definitely plays a very crucial role in an organization. If you do not have a centralized FinOps team in an organization, it's difficult. It's not only about saving the cost, but there are many practices which we have to follow. That's something a FinOps team does.
Yeah, thank you. I think this is something that a lot of people really struggle with, and they need to hear this, right? It is not about just individual project teams or product teams doing their work and reducing costs, but a central body, right, that always drives this whole FinOps as a part of culture, right? You need to have a cost-centric culture, and you said it very right? I think most of the organizations suffer with cost-centric culture. I think I've hardly seen organizations in my experience who are like where engineers are very cost-centric and everyone. And it also takes a lot of effort. So I think having a centralized team does a lot of justice to it, right?
That's right, yeah.
So Rakesh, in your experience, what are the different tools or practices that are essential for cloud visibility and optimization, right? Like where do you figure out like what are the must-haves for my cloud visibility and optimization?
Okay, must have, as I've told, the first thing, tagging is something which is must. If we do not have proper tags, we will not be able to show the reporting properly. Again, we should have reporting structure in the sense the proper visibility of what the teams are spending. So we have to make sure that reports go out to the owners on regular basis, weekly basis or monthly basis, and we should also make sure that they are responsible and analyzing the reports bills which they are getting on regular basis. And automation is something which everyone should also use, because see, this kind of anomalies, I spoke about anomalies, right? So if there is a spike, there should be an automation wherein a notification or a service note ticket, Jira ticket should go directly to the owner of an application or owner of that particular resource, and he or she should take the action on it. So automation, tagging, reporting, and budget alerts. So whatever budget a project has, we should make sure that we are setting up alerts for those for that particular project. Just in case if that reaches the budget, notification should be sent. So this kind of practices are something which are very much essential. Again, when you're looking at multi-cloud, there are many organizations are using multiple clouds. Again, there should be uniform tagging strategy across the clouds, which will again help us to show the cost more effectively.
Got it. That does make sense. And coming to my last question, my favorite one, what are the key metrics that teams should track for cloud cost optimization, right? We have talked about taking a lot of actions, informing, but how do I know like my whole FinOps practice, my whole cloud cost optimization as a program is successful? Like what are those top 3 metrics that you like to track?
Okay. So the first thing is, maybe I can say, if you're able to show how much you're saving from your discounting strategy as well as from your removal of waste. So I'm talking about right sizing, shutting down the idle resources, auto parking. So this is all, we call it as waste, or shutting down the lower environments like sandbox, dev, etc. So if you can capture that particular cost, how much you're saving with using the savings which are if you can capture the savings from your discounting strategy as well as from the waste, that's something which we can show it as a win. Again, if you are able to stop anomalies on the day one itself when it has spiked up, that's when also you can that is also can be considered as metrics, because you have avoided spending so much by catching the anomaly in the right time. And one more thing is, if you are able to show the cost per request, that's something called unit metrics or per request, then yes, we can say that we have the proper FinOps practice. And let's say ideal anomalies detections is which we have already spoke, right? Yeah, if you're able to charge back the exact amount to the projects or the application teams, that's when you can say that, okay, yeah, we've established FinOps practices well in the organization.
So to summarize, you are saying I should be able to charge back, put a proper correlation, I should be able to show that there are savings that we are doing through our
Yes.
whether it is savings, plan, reserve instances, or optimization of usage, or if we are able to do anomaly detection early. So basically, I would say I would deal it on three parts. Is our organizations really able to put the spend to their projects, right? And easy.
Yeah, right.
Okay, how much are we able to save, right, in a given quarter, given period as such? And then the third one is how many of these anomalies can we stop earlier, right? This could have this.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think those are great metrics, right? Literally metrics. I'm going to make a note and put it right on over there, right? So that's it, Rakesh. Yeah, thank you. I hope our viewers have gained some valuable insights that they can apply to their cloud cost optimization effort. And as Rakesh said, remember, this is ever-evolving cloud landscape. You have to do it every day. It's not a one-time job.
That's right. Thank you so much, Praneet, and thanks everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast and share it with your colleagues who might benefit from this information. And if you've got anything else, any feedback, very happy to hear. You can always reach out to me. Until then, keep optimizing and may your cloud costs always trend downward. This is Praneet Chandra signing off from the Latte on Cloud Costs. Thank you.